So hopefully this will be the last episode on our goat pen. I'm going to build a little goat hut, a goat barn, whatever you want to call it. And it's just going to go from this tree here back to that tree. It's 10, 11 feet, something like that. It's I think 16 foot across the front here and 13 foot across the back. Anyway, I'm going to put my header across right here about 6 foot straight across to this one, and I'll put it about 4 foot in the back, slope it down, and I'm just going to build a basic structure here. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Okay guys, I apologize. There's parts missing out of this video. But so the last thing you saw, and then I laid the TPO across the top. And so that was what I had initially. That was good enough for the time being. I brought the goats in, and then it started raining, and underneath it was getting wet, and I just wasn't satisfied with it. So I went inside here, and I added a couple pallets. You can see up here. And I did this when it was raining, so that's why I didn't film it. I was just trying to get it done. But I added a few pallets up here, and then I tacked the TPO on top, and I layered it in such a way that it would shed almost all the water. There's a little bit of moisture back over in this corner, but that's about it. And then, so this whole front was still open, and I know that the goats like to feel protected. And so, and there was nothing on the ground here. It was just bare ground. And so then I came back and I was like, well, I need to put some pallets up and narrow the opening for them. So I put that vertical there to hold that beam running across, and then I just tied some pallets up so they were hanging so they wouldn't fall over. I just used some paracord and made it real simple. I later came back and I screwed this side down so that way I could come in, because I wanted to get the goats used to me. I didn't want them running away. But they all did except for Billy. And so I would trap them and they would dart out here, but I screwed that down so they couldn't. And that's how I started petting them. I would grab onto them and I'd pet them that way. I mean, it's not the best way, but that's what I did. Anyway, I left that side not tied down over there, or not screwed down at the bottom, so that way I could pick it up or move it if I need to muck this out. Anyway, so once I had those up, then the ground was still getting wet, and it rained for several days here. I mean, it flooded everywhere. And I didn't want my goats just walking around, and I wanted them off the ground. So I brought some pallets in, I laid it down, and then they were stepping through the cracks of the pallets, and they were stumbling around. And so I brought the TPO in, I laid it down, and then I brought some hay in, and I put it in the corners trying to make them more comfortable. Anyway, all in all, this is what I got. And actually, this works actually surprisingly well. And I'm really grateful for the TPO. I told you guys about it at some point. I pulled it off a job. They were redoing a building there in town, and the lady gave it to me. I got tons of hardware and probably 1,000 square feet of this TPO, which was badass. Anyway, I've been using it for everything. I've got a bunch left still. So anyway, that's the full build, guys. I'm open to comments, suggestions, any of that. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. You guys have a great day.